Hello, it's CRM Success Secrets today. And what we're talking about is lead generation, focusing on lead generation and accountability with Meshell Baker, who is a chief or the chief confidence igniter. And the CRM Success Secrets is just really about sharing how a business owner uses their CRM in their business, how it helps them be more successful and grow their business. So it's pretty simple. And let me share a little bit about Meshell. So Meshell is one of my clients, and I think it's just over a year now that we've been working together. It's been a lot of fun. So she is a chief confidence igniter, has been described as a breath of fresh air, and the power of her story combined with her passion and enthusiasm is enough to make anyone want to tap into their potential. I would agree with that. Just working with Meshell gets me all energized to do more. Um, she masterfully guides audiences to embrace challenges as new chapters that enhance their capabilities. And she encourages moving away from trying to sell and towards value add conversations that confidently communicate win win for all involved. Meshell is the gift of clarity, empowering women around the globe to ignite confident belief and enable their people to develop high performing resilience and unstoppable confidence. She is renowned for her value based and no nonsense approach to sales and business success. Meshell has phenomenal results, accolades, and awards, and has compiled an incredible track record of raving recommendations with clients over the past 25 years. She is on a mission to ignite confident belief in as many women as possible. So thank you, Meshell.
Thank you for reading that. It's like, wow.
Wasn't that many sentences. I was like, am I going? So, well, Meshell, would you share just a little bit about your kind of journey with using technology in your business? And
Oh man. I think the question is interesting because I know. Well, I don't. I'll just say this: it was kicking in, screaming, and fighting initially. I really, with the exception of a few tools, like I'm in love with Canva, but I like to create things. But the things that were most important and relevant to building a business were always seemed to be the harder ones that I didn't necessarily like or enjoy. I did Active Campaign, I did HubSpot, I did Mailchimp, and for the life of me, I just didn't enjoy it. I would be working up until late night trying to figure it out, trying to put things, and no matter what I did, I seemed to mess it up. Right? It didn't flow seamlessly, and it was very inconsistent and sporadic.
mm,
So, yeah, it was not fun at all for a while there.
yes, well, and even when you came to Work Smarter CRM, I think you had Active Campaign and HubSpot still, so you were still, and those are similar tools. There's a lot of overlap there. Um, what do you feel like we've really done differently in the past year that has made your CRM
Oh yeah,
not
and
a
it's been like
pain?
this. Yeah, it's been 16 months. So what we did differently was you personalize it. So first and foremost, I have to applaud you because you took the time to really get to know what I wanted to create and why. So you didn't take me on as a client till you were clear that you could support me in that journey. And once we did that, you always, every time we would meet, you would ask me, what is the outcome I want to create for the clients? And you never did just what I wanted. You would always offer an expansion. So you would
Um,
take whatever I wanted and you'd sprinkle like your little magic dust on it, and it would be even more awesome. Like I always say, like you say, you're excited working with me. I'm always excited when I see Mary Sue's name on my calendar because I know it's going to be something incredible. I know together we're going to create something that's going to be really inspiring and encouraging for the people that I love to serve in my CRM. So
yes. Well, and I I do follow directions sometimes, but I do I have always been that person that's like, why are we really doing this? And I think working with clients, that what I have found is we all hear lots of advice on how we should do things, and it's harder to evaluate, well, how is it really going to work in my business? And so I do ask that why, just to make sure that we're aligning it properly to where you make money and how you
Yes.
connect with your clients. I think one of the biggest shifts we made this last year was um, creating a way for you to grow your mailing list in all of the speaking that you do.
Yes, that has been huge, right? To capture the attendance through giving them access to something at the end of this talk, and then even that has grown from just putting it up on a slide deck to putting it on the tabletop. So every time I do an event, and every time we meet, there's a tweaking that happens. And that's the fun part of working with you, is to get out of my own head and have eliminated focusing that it was wrong. Like, there's never anything wrong. And that switch for me in business has been powerful. It still rears its ugly head here and there. So it's magically disappeared in a year and a half. And I'm very clear on when I'm thinking about what didn't go right versus how to refine or tweak it to make it better. So it's a different outcome, because one is coming from the place of, oh, let's create something that's really going to be supportive versus let's fix.
Yeah. Yes. Well, and just to explain to everyone a little bit about what we did with Meshell, is Meshell does do speaking, and as you can tell, she's just very inspiring, and so are her PowerPoint slides. I'm sure you have, I think we even talked about it, you have people that will take photos of your PowerPoint
Yes.
slides because they want to capture the message and that energy.
Yes.
And so it was very simple. We just created made her slides for each event into its own downloadable
Yep.
that people could sign up for. And then, followed up with a pretty simple email series just to, see if they're interested in bringing you to speak to their community.
Yep.
And then Meshell also has, they're called the Confidence Affirmation Deck, right?
Yes, yes. So it's a deck of cards, of 52 cards, and it really supports the principles of everything I speak on. And I have the cards right here, right?
Ooh.
So it's a deck of 52 cards, and it really supports people to start to challenge the self talk, the chatter of doubt, be it with sales, be it with workplace confidence and leadership, to move forward and to begin to use the imagination in a favorable method, because that's all self-talk is. It's just imagining what could go wrong, and then having a conversation with inside yourself about what could go wrong versus what could go right.
Right. Yes. And so what we did to add on to, now she's capturing emails from her talks, but she will, for those events where she's allowed, she puts out a table and people can purchase the cards right there, or they could get a bundle with a journal
Yep.
and a couple other things.
Yep.
And then what is the third one, is scheduling a
Strategy
strategy
session.
session.
Yeah, so it's that taking action. I really am a fan of people who take action, because one of the things that I'm clear on in life is about, we live the outcomes of action, right? What we're living right now today, and what my clients and the people who listen to me and the people listening now, right? If you're thinking about working with Mary Sue, and I don't know, have the call. Right. The action is to go, not that calling her, you have to hire her, have the call, because you're prompted and you're following through on your inner voice and trusting that that's the path to take you to wherever you're leading. So I'm really a fan of celebrating. And that's why I have balloons behind me. I'm all about the celebration, because we spend so much time berating and flogging ourselves. We don't celebrate ourselves enough. Celebrating people who really want to take action and do something and move forward to create something amazing. I give a discount on site, and I bring a limited amount, right? So first come, first serve. I'm not going to drag around a bunch of stuff. And I want to celebrate those who want to take action immediately. And Mary Sue helped me create that. I had an idea, and of course, she made the idea better.
Yes.
I've learned, just show up with the idea, even if it's like a bare bones, like you want to build a house, and I come with a paint swatch and say, I want the house to be this color. Mary Sue will build it.
Thank you. Well, and I'll add a link to get your affirmation cards to the show notes because
Yes.
they're pretty cool. Um, but the accountability part, because that was the topic, is the lead gen focus. I think we talked about is like really clarifying where do your leads come from, and then how can you maximize those opportunities. So that was the lead gen focus, and then the accountability piece really isn't about the CRM as much as it is about having the consistent kind of we have conversations weekly,
Yes.
which is part of my package offerings
Yep.
where there's strategy sessions included, and that's where we're talking about what's next.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, and you're so dialing it down because we had our annual, we had our year. We looked at what happened last year and what is the plan for this year, and so the strategy sessions that we have just keep building on that, and we just keep tracking and seeing where things are going and how we're moving towards the outcome for the year end, and we just keep moving in that direction, and it's been awesome. I mean, I'm like really excited about this year, even more so than, and it's the consistency of the accountability, because like I said before, I literally can remember some of my early on calls with you. I'd freak out because I hadn't done what you asked me to do. I hadn't gathered the information, or I didn't feel like I was ready. And that is no more because of, the accountability and working with you. I've come to see, we just create. Don't worry about what didn't get done. What do you have right now in front of you, and create from there. And it's always amazing every call.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, I agree. I think one of those examples is like if you're doing a promotion, which we were doing for like you've done a couple times for a challenge or for an upcoming event, the desire is to have all of your emails written, your promotion emails written ahead of time, and we can automate it all out. And sometimes we get like halfway there. So instead of worrying about what's not done, we just automate the few things that are done and add to it as we go.
Yes.
And you still get to the same end point.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, and speaking of, right, so I did a 5-day challenge, and that was an idea, and we put that up, and I mean, it was built so wonderfully. Did it on StreamYard and all the great things. And so what I did this past weekend was every day I delivered a downloadable. And so what I did was I captured all of that and put it in a workbook. So the next time, because it's going to happen in September, we already have it on the calendar. I don't have to go in and attach the downloadables every day, or have someone attach the downloadables every day. Now they download one workbook for all 5 days and they're off. But that wouldn't have happened had I not done it the first time. Really understanding what Mary Sue brings to the table is your ability to evolve your business as your business evolves, right? It's never going to be the same. And as you grow and expand or scale or whatever it is that you're doing in your business, you want someone that has that level of flexibility, because what I'm finding now is change is the constant, and change is getting faster and faster in the marketplace. So having someone who is creative and innovative, flexible and adaptable is everything, because people get so stuck on, but that's what you told me to do, but I thought you wanted to do that. Okay, so right. I'm like,
Yes.
that's what your head is screaming. It's like, so that's no longer. Can we move forward? And you do that so eloquently and graciously. It's so inspiring.
Thank you. Yeah, we were talking about perfectionism, like at the before
Ooh.
we got on, which I see that a lot. I mean, I certainly struggle with that myself, but as I'm working with clients, because people get a lot of perfectionism fears related to their marketing, like their social media, because your emails, because you're putting yourself out there, and the fear is if I'm not perfect, people won't like it, all that kind of stuff. And so a lot of times I'm not a coach, but I do coach people to just start. It's not, doesn't have to be perfect, and you will get better as you go, including like these CRM secrets Success Secrets podcast. I just started, and it is getting better each time with how I manage it. But and it's been wonderful. So I think perfectionism is something that I agree. You need to have a partner that pushes you outside of that.
Yes, yeah. Well, and yes, you do, and that's where the accountability, the weekly calls. And I remember when I was getting ready to work with you, I was referred by people who did not necessarily have the weekly accountability with you, and I remember looking and talking to you, and I just said, no, I can't. I'm like, why would I do what I already did? I already had like a ton of different CRMs, and I wasn't doing what needed to be done in any of them, and it wasn't going to change. I hadn't changed. So the only thing that would change is having that guidance and that coaching. And I think, honestly, if we want to go out even outside of the realm of CRM, just thinking about your business, like if you are truly here to work with someone, a CRM is what, a customer relationship management system. So your goal is to manage a relationship with these people who will be customers, have been customers, and are customers. And if you're struggling with that, you're not going to magically change just because you change CRMs. What is required is having a different conversation, having a conversation with someone who can help you change how you look at it.
Yeah.
How you look at everything you're doing around managing these clients. And that's
yes.
what you do so well.
And you have taken that and taken it to the next step in your business. I think you've always had like a CFO person that you work with, but now you are building out your team, and you have an operations person that's really helping you systematize, which you wouldn't have been able to do a year ago.
Oh, no, I was like, I was a deer in headlights when I came to you.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't say simple, but we simplified your system so that they're repetitive, and
Yes.
you can continue to build on them. That's what makes it possible for you to then scale it.
Yeah. And the other thing I'll say that you do so well is I don't think you've ever told me I was wrong about anything. So, because that is when people hear wrong or don't do that, or that's not right, they shut down. And so everything that's offered after that, it falls on deaf ears, right? Even though they're nodding and saying yes, they're not internalizing it at a level that's necessary to integrate it into business excellence, right? And you are really good about how you communicate a strategy that you hear that doesn't necessarily, because you really do say, well, let me offer you this, or have you thought about that? You really preface and use your words. And I don't even know if I recognize that until we did this live right now, that and maybe have not ever appreciated you for that. But that's something that I'm very conscious of when I work with other people as well. So I have to applaud you for that. You do a really good job of putting people at ease, or speak for myself, putting me at ease so that I wasn't scared to make mistakes anymore. I started embracing, just let's create it and see what happens.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Yeah. Anything else you want to share about your CRM secrets?
Please tell me more about my eyes.
Well, thank you, Meshell, for joining us today and talking about how, focusing on your lead gen and the accountability to keep that focus has helped your business.
Yes, thank you.
And again, I will link in the affirmation cards in the show notes, because those are pretty cool. And Meshell, if you're interested in building your confidence, definitely reach out to Meshell. She is like an energizer bunny of and she has a lot of like the way that she describes things, very vivid and really powerful. So I love working with you as a client relationship. And that's it for this week. We will have another CRM Success Secrets next week. We're doing them once a week on Tuesdays. And thank you very much.
Thank you.